they should be suspicious of the Western media.
Sure, and just to be clear here, the United States has been hijacked by these big mega banks on record. The Economist, Financial Times of London, they brag, oh, Goldman Sachs has conquered Europe. So it's not like my country and even Israel or Australia or England want to attack Syria. No, it's just our name on it. The big mega oligarch banks are using our countries in NATO to go after your nation and selling us that it's humanitarian because, you know, Saddam threw babies out of incubators. Turns out that wasn't true, or Saddam has WMDs, or Gaddafi's got rape gangs out fueled by Viagra. None of that was true. Anderson Cooper has them all on with classic bestial war propaganda. But Anderson Cooper is not an American. You know, Anderson Cooper is a globalist operative. So I want to be clear. It's not that, oh, I'm siding against America with Syria. I don't like Assad, just like your family got run out of there by Assad and locked up. The point is they're not trying to go in and throw Assad out to bring some type of freedom, but to loot the region and put al-Qaeda in charge, who've said they're going to run out the Muslim minority groups and the Christians. So, I mean, they're going to put al-Qaeda in there. That's on record to wreck the place when it's an industrialized civilization. And it's the same thing with Iran. And it's Saudi Arabia, that corrupt, not the people of Saudi Arabia, but that a corrupt elite who is backed by the British Empire doing all of this. Israel's involved, not the Israeli people. I mean, 70+% don't want to attack Iran and Israel. But our media acts like Americans are traitors if we don't want to attack Iran. Well, the majority of Israelis don't. This is madness by the ruling class that wants all these wars and is overthrowing all these countries by proxy to loot them. Do you agree with those statements, or is there any tidbits you want to add to? You disagree?
I absolutely agree with the
say. I mean, I think you really have to ask Tom that question. He can answer it more accurately than I can. But we're determined.
Aggressive?
Assertive.
Competitive?
Competitive to the extent, not ruthlessly competitive, but I like to have, it's fun to have a game. In sports, I'm competitive.
Were you always going to be an actress as a little girl?
Yeah, one of those cliches, but yeah, I really, I don't know where it came from. My father's a doctor, my mother's a nurse educator, and somehow they had a little girl that wanted to be an actress. And in Australia, that's not very common because the industry's small there, and not many kids say, oh, I want to be an actress. I know it's more common in America, but it came from somewhere.
What does it do for you, the craft of acting? You know, what does it fulfill, you think?
I don't know if it ever really fulfills you. I think there's always this, the thing that attracts me to it is that it's a very spontaneous, very unpredictable career. And I like that. I like the not knowing if in 3 weeks' time you're going to be off doing a movie here, what character you're going to be playing. And I love people, so you really get to explore human nature.
How awful is it for you the first day of a shoot when you're just trying this character on? Do you have stage fright?
Yes. You get nervous. Ron came up to me just the day before we had to start shooting on Fire and Away, and he just said, hey, Nicole, don't worry about it. I'm walking around, oh. And he said, don't worry about this. Enjoy it. It should be easy for you, this character, because you know her. And it was the best advice I'd ever been given, because as soon as I relaxed into the character, it just came. I was able to do it. It was like being on a roll. And the more relaxed I got, the better I got.
How critical are you of yourself when you see yourself, and do you pick yourself apart? And
yeah, I'm trying to change that. It's easy to sit there and see every flaw. I mean, I still think I walk funny. So I see that on the screen and I go, oh, I walk so strange. But I'm becoming a lot more objective about it. I'm becoming more able to sit down and see a character and see the scope of the movie and the story of the movie instead of just focusing on my character.
In Hollywood terms, is your husband a producer, a director, or more of an extra? As far as your career is concerned, does he produce you, direct you, or just kind of sits back and watches you?
He really lets me go off and do what I want to do. I've been doing what I want to do since I was 14. I mean, I left school early. I went to Europe and backpacked through Europe. I mean, I really, I think that in a relationship, if someone says to you, no, you can't do it, it makes you want to do it. So, we both have a very open mind about things in relation to each other.
Were you worried about the closeness being too close, working together? I mean, I guess the first time you worked together was Days of Thunder, and that was more of an introduction type thing. But since you had been together for a while, were you worried about the stress and the pressure getting to each of you?
We set ground rules. I said I have to get 8 hours sleep. You must let me get 8 hours sleep, and we really have to, keep anything conjugal out of it. And he agreed. It was he had exactly the same ideas. And with a director like Ron Howard, who really has been married for so long and really understands that it was the best possible way to do it. And also, we love working together. We have this sort of communication where you don't even have to use words. And I think people that are married that are very close have that. You can communicate just by a look.